Hello everyone, welcome to Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection. My name is Tyrone. Isn't this the time of year where we do Christmas videos and year in review videos? This is such a video. This is Moving Parts 2023 Matchbox year in review, starting with one of my favourite castings, period. It's the Bentley. Look at that. Sweet Lord, look at that. It's nice and heavy. It does have a plastic base, but it's nice and heavy. Bentley Continental. On the cheat sheet next to me, I've got new. In fact, the first, gee whiz, the first 17 are new castings. When Matchbox put 54, 1 of 54, 2 of 54, etc. on their moving parts cards, I didn't believe it. And yet, they pulled it off. What a lovely car. Absolute stunner. What a way to start. That's number 1. Number 2, according to my sheets, supplied to me by my lovely assistant and wife, it's the 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 302 in blue with opening bonnet. Nothing flash under the bonnet, so we'll close it quick smart. But classic Mustang Boss blue and tri-spoke wheels with rims. Number 3, we'll rip through these quite quickly because there are a lot to get through. Spoiler alert, I don't have the Super Chasers, proving I am not immortal in the world of Matchbox car collecting. Although I'm sure they'll turn up at some stage, just not right now. I'll do a picture-in-picture of the ones I'm missing. They are all 4 Super Chasers. They're spectacularly beautiful, all of them, but not available in Australia, and to get them online it's a couple $100 for the 4. So I diverted my resources to other things, Matchbox, but not to them, as we ogle number 3 in the set of 2023 moving parts. It's the Tesla Roadster in charcoal or black. Not sure if that's quite black, maybe it is. I'm resisting saying, oh, I love this thing, because there is so much to like about all of them. The Bollinger B2, it's new, with multiple opening parts. You get 3 opening parts on this sucker. If I can jam my thug fingers in to reveal parts 2 and 3, and 1 at the back. So cool. In matte black, number 5. It's another Tesla. There's a bunch of Teslas in this year's moving parts. There's a bunch of Teslas in the main line too. I wonder if Elon visited Matchbox, or Matchbox visited Elon and said, how about it, mate? So cool. I love this series. Did I mention that? Probably. Tesla Model 3, 22 copyright. Man, there's so much to like. Speaking of so much to like, Auto World don't sell in Australia anymore, but I don't care, because Matchbox has given us this van, and that's no overstatement, should I say. It's the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. It's heavy, there's so much metal on it. Okay, it doesn't have a metal base, but who cares? Look at it. It's blown away by so many things in the Matchbox lineup, especially moving parts, but in other series as well. Collectors, the Mattel Creations, the main line. Am I gushing? What a van. 1957 Ford Country sedan is next cab off the rank. in at number 7. I wouldn't call this a sedan. To me, it's a station wagon. To the English, it's an estate. Yeah, they're calling it a sedan. Maybe that's what they called them back then, when old people were still alive. Fairly well detailed engine, chrome base. It's got a lot going for it. Nice paint job too. Yeah, there's plenty going on there. Doesn't really sit well next to the big van. Number 8, Toyota Land Cruiser. This casting is new, aren't they all? But yeah, I won't bother trying to open that door, they're quite stiff. It's much heavier than the main line because they've had to beef everything up to accommodate those doors. Wow. I'm loving the 2024 colours coming out. I've been previewing those all day, and I'll resist talking about those because we're doing a 2023 review, so why would you want to know? Powder blue Fiat 500. Fiat 500e, meaning, you know, it hugs trees, but it's a looker. It's very traditional in the Fiat sense. Looking very Italian. Where are we? Squeeze another few in the right. Gladiator with a nice deep red and opening bonnet. Nice. Talk about the creme de la creme. We'll start at a second row here, although I don't want to crowd out that Bentley. If I was a squillionaire, I'd probably drive that car, that Bentley Continental. As we look at the lower end of the spectrum, I forget which way this opens. Is it a back to front, or is it don't bother mate? Looks like it's a back to front, so I'll try again. No, it's not going to play. I'll edit that out. There you go. After all that work. Metal bonnet, nice wheels, lots of tampo and chrome exhausts poking out the back from the chrome base. Okay interior, but you can't have it all. There are budget restraints, I guess. Did I tell you what that was? It's the 1988 Mazda RX-7, and yet another new casting for 2023. I mean, let's face it, they had to do a lot, didn't they, in the new casting arena, because they ramped up, I think, from 20 last year up to 50, plus 4 super chasers. This is the Citroën, looking every bit a Mercedes in my eye, to my eye. The Citroën EC4X. Very nice. Not sure about all this. There's it's okay. I'd have to see one in real life, which I haven't as yet, and probably won't. Citroën used to import to Australia, but I think they've given up again. They've had a couple of cracks at our market. Number 13 is the Mercedes-Benz Unimog U5023. New. There is your moving parts, the swivelling hips, in case the German police service want to dump a load. I don't know. I guess, yeah, I don't know. I like it. Blacked out windows, unfortunately, but you can't have everything. The Chevy Tahoe, you son of a gun. Where are you? This one featured in my 2023 missing pieces video, because this was missing for the longest time. And I bought it online, and then I found it in a shop the day it arrived from an online seller. So yeah, I've since swapped the second one, and at a loss, but you know, you got to suck it up sometimes. It's a good looking vehicle, but yeah, did quite a bit of chasing for it. 2022 Chevy Tahoe. Nice. And again, doesn't really sit very well next to its companion. Nissan Ariya. We'll call it Ariya. I like this one better than the Citroen, and I haven't seen this one in real life either yet. Maybe it'll come to Australia. These engine parts, man. Come on, man. Fingernails are too short for this. Just imagine I showed you the engine. Probably not that spectacular, but yeah, I like the street cars in general. That looks alright. I've used those wheels to great effect on so many things. Look at this. See? Cool, hey? Kind of greyed out, not even blacked out on that one, but they really suit. Really nice. The Lexus, are we up to that already? The 22, oh man. And I've seen the recolor, and it's just as good as this one. Jeez, I love this thing. I consider the real version an obscene waste of money, because they're not cheap, hey? But I love this casting. Fantastic. Great choice of interior colour. It looks like a decent interior. The windows aren't even smoked much, so you can get a good eyeball on them. Fantastic. Real nice. I'd buy 20 of those if they came in 20 different colours, and who knows, maybe they will. Number 17 is the 1963 Ford F100. So good they gave it to us in two colours, but here we have the, wouldn't even call this beige, is it cream, tan, don't know, maybe you'd call it beige. Lots going on with that engine. It's a metal bonnet, F100 on the license plates, or license plate, they didn't include the front one. And the recolor of the very next number, what was that? 17, so number 18 is a red one. I'm not sure which I like the best. It feels like the tan coloured one is more in keeping with the era, but I'm sure they did red ones too. Just, that's how I feel is more natural to this era. But I like the red one too. It's a nicer colour, but identical engine by the looks. So cool. You could have a fleet of those, couldn't you? Couldn't have a fleet of these, because this is kind of like a lone wolf car. Me and little mama. Huge slab doors. What are we looking at, Tyrone? It's the 1964 Buick Riviera in at number 19 in black. Black. Love those tail lights and the back window. So mean. So curb crawler, isn't it? Just my impression. The Chevy Blazer, but not as you know it. Look at that. That's what they've done to the Chevy Blazer, and it's an EV, so they've neutered it as well. 2024 Chevy Blazer. I suppose they had to give the name to something. It's like the Mustang Mach-E. I read all my comments, but I've read probably the least favourable comments around the Mustang Mach-E. So I'm feeling your pain, trust me. What are we up to? Get with the program. Range Rover Evoque in the number 21. Real estate agent's car. Hairdresser's car. I don't know. I'm not sure a hairdresser would be able to afford this car. But yeah, maybe they're popular in somewhere like California, but not so much, pretty much everywhere else. But cool casting. There's your base 2016 Land Rover Evoque. I remember when the hardtop came out and I couldn't decide on the back of it whether I could live with it if I bought one. The front, okay, fine, very Range Rovery, baby Range Rovery, but the back on the Evoque is quite radical, quite squashed. And here we have this one, which is another step, perhaps down the wrong path again. The Devco made another appearance in Moving Parts 2023 in the Shell livery. Opening doors on this one just on the back. Drivers and passengers door permanently open, just so the deliveries can be made as the vehicle's rolling down the road. Oops, I've bumped you about 3 times so far. Sorry about that. Turn the page and straight into number 23. It's a Mazda. Very street car casting, which goes down a treat. Some gear in the boot or the hatch. Closes properly. That's all you want, isn't it? That's why I'm always hesitant about opening bonnets. Well, they close again. And for all seasons wheels, but they really work for the Mazda. 1950 Chevy Suburban. Look at you in a beautiful green on black. And an easy to open bonnet. And a decent engine to look at too. Bonnet closes properly. It's kind of loosey-goosey, but rather that than being tight to open and close. You know, the hinges are going to give out sooner rather than later. That's a nice one. Not what I think of when I think of Suburban, but yeah, it's got a long history. Back to Nissan. It's the Nissan Leaf. Now they gave us this one in non-opening parts, different model. I think it was the 3-door, 2 doors plus hatch, and here we have the 5-door, 4 doors plus hatch. But they look good together in the collection. In fact, I almost mistook one for the other tonight when I was putting this video together. It's pretty cool. They almost colour matched the door to the rest of it. Let them get away with that one. Goes well next to the green. Number 26 is the 2019 Ram Ambulance. Mattel Creations gave us a beautiful green one of a Ram Ambulance, but here we have red. I'll refrain from shoving anything in those windows to open the doors. We've all seen the back of an ambulance by the time we get to my age. Interestingly, Matchbox Fire Department on this. I've said it before, I'll say it again. In Australia, you don't mix up an ambulance with the fire department, but in the States, clearly they do things differently. 27 Seagrove fire truck, looking very working rigs, in my opinion, but just miniaturized. This is a great casting, nice and heavy. Plastic base, but it's big enough to really give it some oomph. MBX ladder, as in ladder truck. Great, and of course 70 years edition livery. Is he out of shot? I'll just move you to the right. Just swap seats, young fella. There you go. Sweet. From fire trucks to pickup trucks. Who are you? Yeah, it's the long bed with a massive slab of a bonnet. All over if you get your head caught in that. Again, we've got the 70 years edition. 1964 Chevy C10 long bed is the name. Save us going blind from that chrome base. Put him next to the back and black fella. Oh, one of my favourite. Oh, I've got so many favourites in this lineup. What a treat. Look at that. This first came out in the Mattel Creations. Remember that? I couldn't believe what I was looking at. And here we have a lemony colour. Lemon souffle on black with blacked out wheels. God, I love this thing. Sweet. 2023 Nissan Z. The Mattel Creations had the rubber tyres, but can't have everything, as I keep saying. FJ Cruiser, look at you. Now, this isn't a new one, or the last bunch of them weren't new, they're all recolours, but it's a bit like the, so many of them. I just keep on buying them, recolour after recolour. Look at it. Red on black, blacked out wheels. Toyota have stopped making this now, but Matchbox has picked up where they left off. Thank goodness. What a cool car. Bit of debris on the table. Number 31 is the supercar. Now, not sure about this moving part because it goes too many ways for my liking. But there is the engine. It's fairly intricate. What are we looking at? The Pagani Hyra Roadster, if that's how you say it. The older I get, the less into supercars I am. The street cars really do it for me. This one, it's alright. It's alright. So many cars with blacked out wheels. But this one hasn't. It's the old Gen 2. Jungle Safari X on the side. It's the 1965 Land Rover Series 2, not Gen 2. In the roofless version, just so the lions can get you. Nice. And of course, some opening parts to be prized open. First came out in yellow, didn't it? That was pretty out there when it first came out. Number 33. We're ripping through these a bit too quick, I think. 2021 Ford Bronco in blue, and again bit of a colour mismatch between doors and body. It's the opposite problem to Nissan. Nissan door is a bit too light for the body, and here we have the door a bit too dark for the body, but gold wheels, interestingly, Bronco on the front, black interior. Plenty of detail, tempo back and front. It is a nice blue. Who next? 2019 Ford Ranger, roughly the same colour. Maybe it's a Ford thing. Actually, having said that, there is a bit of a difference. Across a crowded car park on a stormy night, they'd look identical. Nothing going on in that engine bay, detail wise at least. Look a bit like the Toyota Hilux, don't they? Number 35 is the 1961 Jeep FC with a tipper. Very handy. That'd be handy in the backyard. 70 years edition. I think the first one was the metallic green one, wasn't it? I like it. I like the spare wheel tucked in underneath the tray. No need to adjust your TV, I've adjusted the camera instead. Number 36 is the 2020 BMW M4 Cabriolet in red with very nice opening and closing doors. Never had a problem with this casting. They're soft close, but there is that nice clunk to end it. Stunning. Just stunning. Where are we on the scheme of things now that we've taken a little step back? Speaking of stunning, oh my lord, this is right up there with the Bentley. Look at those. Imagine having one of each in your garage. Well, I've got one of each in my collection. What more could I want? Oh. Listen. Oh. The satisfaction. Look at that thing. Gold rims on this one. Porsche 911 Carrera 4S. Wow. Absolutely nailed it. 1995 Volkswagen Golf. This one didn't get a lot of love, did it? They stretched it to fit everything they wanted in, by the looks. It's a 5-door. There is a variant, so if you didn't like it, you still had to buy 2 of them. If you're a completist like me, you'd have Golf on the license plate. And the variant stuff. Yeah. I'm almost tempted to put them out back so they don't mess up the style lines of the Porsche, but we won't. We're more grown up than that, I think. I hope. Number 39 is the 2020 Dodge Charger SRT Hellcat with its 700 horsepower. Or is that the Challenger? They probably both got the same engine, actually. Yeah, it was the Challenger. When I saw the Challenger ad, or not, probably wasn't even an ad, it was something on YouTube about it, and they just started the engine, revved it a few times, and I decided right then and there I was going to buy one. And then I saw the price that they were offering it in Australia, and I decided I was never going to have one. But that was the Challenger. This is a Charger, 2020 Dodge Charger SRT. Looking cool in blue, like an ice blue. Mustang is next, cab off the rank. Number 40 is the 2019 Ford Mustang convertible. It's a recolor with the 70 years plonked on the bonnet. The doors work well on this too. Magic. Happily, this model is familiar in Australia, not like that one or many others, many others. Just don't get them as far as American cars go. But this we do. 1996 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution 4. Open up, young fella. There you go. Again, metal bonnet and plenty of tampo work. Really nice, really nice. Out of whack for scale next to that, but that's alright. This was a real thing for me this year, because one of my all-time Matchbox favourite cars was the original Mercedes-Benz. Remember the blue one, and then the Polite side, and then the taxi, a bunch of Bulgarian ones. But 450 SEL, they did not disappoint, and they could have very easily, but did a spectacular job of that, I thought. A lovely muted green. Good choice of colour, good effort, I thought. Corvette is next up. It's number 43, 2020 Chevy Corvette in interestingly brown, but it works. Plenty to see in the mid-mounted engine. Plenty of Corvettes in the lineup too, isn't there? All through the years for Matchbox. And this one goes very well in the collection. Where are we? Go back to the left. For the last roll, ready. Subaru Brat with a spare wheel under the hood, just where you need it. Keep that tyre nice and warm. Obviously a space-saving thing, but it was a real weird thing. Seats in the back, totally illegal these days, here anyway. Not sure about your neck of the woods, maybe that's the done thing. But yeah, looks a bit sketchy now. Looking cool with those colours. Every colour they've brought out that in is cool and very reminiscent of the real thing. Where are we? 1983 Buick Riviera in the number 45. And we've got to open the doors. On some of the 70s ones, I almost don't want to, because if they open slightly skew, if they're not going to close well at all, and it will wreck the car. But Matchbox did a fine old job this year on all doors. This one's a bonnet opener. It's the Ram chunky white thing, 2020 Ram Rebel. Rebel is just a spec level, isn't it? A little bit more fancy than your stock. Looks good, black and white contrast. Variants galore on this one. Of course there are 4, left-hand drive, right-hand drive, headlights up, headlights down. It's the cooler version to the Toyota MR2, I think. What number? I've lost track. Here we are, 47, 1990 Toyota MR2 W20, officially. And of course, there's headlights down and left-hand drive, right-hand drive. Well, is that left-hand drive? Where are we? Right-hand drive. That seems more appropriate. Japanese drive on the correct side, and on the correct side of the road too, funnily enough. They gave this to us in kind of lilac, didn't they? Number 48, the 2016 BMW i8 with the controversial doors. Was this the first one they started doing plastic doors on a car? Oh, it's quite the operation. Yeah, I think this was the first plastic doored car back in the orange, and it was a really stark mismatch, kind of like this. Yeah, prefer metal doors, as if I need say it. I'm sure many have. Mitsubishi back in the Celeste. Yes, Mitsubishi Lancer Celeste, 1975 in fact. Possibly the third colour, Mattel Creations, and then the yellow or the orange. And lucky last, and just to top it off, we've got a variant in the Morris Minor as I hastily flick the page over. Number 50 for the Matchbox 2023 moving parts is the 1956 Morris Minor with right-hand drive and inevitably left-hand drive. And that's that's the 70 years edition also. Cute. We'll do a little pan around. We'll get the XS MR2s out of the way. I've had my fill of XS MR2s. The mainline one this year drove me nuts, just a little, but we got there in the end. I think it was about a dozen or so of those, but we got there in the end. That's variants for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll string it all together. I had to stop the camera a few times for various reasons. I normally do on these really long videos, but they're fun to make. I'll go upstairs and we'll see the 50 in all their glory. Shame about the super chasers, but you know, that's life. There's got to be something in the collection you don't have, and you clearly go to the nth degree to find. We've all been there. We're probably there now. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.